He's got a small waist, anime face, and obviously no bank. Yikes. What's up, everyone? Thank you for joining us once again on the Dstar01 channel. I'm your host, Dexter, Arafiles, and thank you for joining us for another Figure Fix Friday. In today's episode, we're going to look at modifications gone wrong and how are we going to repair them. First, let's go over the story. What happened here? So one of my subscribers, Oscar, sent me this picture. He said, hey, I finally found a Revoltech Deku. I got it for a good price, but when I got it, it came like this. And let's look at what's going on here. It looks like the previous owner of this figure decided he wanted more range of motion in the legs, so he decided to literally cut off, not even shave or sand this down. He cut off this section right here and right here so you can get the maximum range of motion. Now, I guess if that's what you're aiming for, fine, but it seems like the original owner did sell this because obviously he did not like what he did. So he sold it for 80 bucks. Wow, that's really disturbing that he decided to charge $80 for a really modified figure. So when Oscar got this, he noticed that, look here at the crotch, the plastic parts right here were missing, and these joints are completely exposed, as well as his bank right here is just missing altogether because he decided to shave it off. Now, this modification would have been good if you decided to actually sand it down properly, but the original person decided not to do that and just cut it off. Also, I'd like to say that the original person actually used Fixer Elixir, look at that, to tighten up the joints. Wow. So if you're watching this, man, let me know, why did you decide to cut off his bank right here? Like, come on, man. Anyway, I'm not going to disrespect the person who decided to do what you want with your figure. It's your figure, you do what you want, but now I'm stuck here trying to fix it. So today, what are we going to do? We're going to use Procreate. Now, I really love this stuff. This stuff is better than Fix-It Sculpt, I think. And we're going to re-sculpt his butt and his crotch area. And we're going to do it on camera. So this is what we're going to do today. We're going to do that. And then first we're going to sand it down. Then we're going to sculpt it. And then tomorrow, hopefully, we'll get around to airbrushing it the proper green. And that should really get this guy back. So let's just jump right into it. Let's see what we need to do here. Let's look at the mixing ratio. So what do we want to use here? We want to aim for a softer, more mix here. So we need resin, the white, and more black than white. But you know what? Let's go for a 50-50 here. So let's do 50-50 white and then 50-50 black. And that should get us to where we need to go. So let's get this piece together. Everything is pretty much eyeballed too. So once we get these two together, we'll mix by rolling. Okay, now we have a uniform gray after mixing, kneading, and doing everything like that. It's pretty gooey, a little bit tough. So let's dip it in some water here. And the water will smooth it out and make it a little bit easier to work with. And there we go. So we have a nice consistent color. We're going to let that sit for a bit. And we're going to take 400 grit, sorry, not to this guy, 400 grit sanding stick. And we're just going to go over the parts that got really messed up. And the reason why we do this is so it adds more surface area for the clay or the Procreate to actually stick. And we only want to do this just a little bit, as you can see right here. So there we go, we sanded that, and now we could start molding his butt. Oh, this is great. This is gonna be fun. So we just need just a little bit. I don't think we need too much. We just need enough to cover. And when this stuff hardens, we will sand it down even more so it looks, what do you call it? more uniform. Now this is just rough right now. We're not going to put any details in there just yet. We'll wait until we can fold that over. Let's get the other buttocks ready. Maybe this is just the right amount right here. Okay. Now we won't put the fine details in just yet. Right now we just need to get the Procreate on the actual piece, and then we'll go with the fine details later. So now we're working on the crotch area. Okay, I think we're good. Okay, so here we go. We've covered up all the spots that had white on it and basically the evidence of where the guy cut it off. So now we're going to add the fine details. And how do we do that? We have a cup of water here, and we're going to smooth it down with our finger here, and then we're going to go over it with our pick so it smooths out just a little bit. So we got water, and now we can use the pick to smooth it out. So we're going to try to use the pick to try to meld it with the original plastic. Probably wet the pick as well. And you see these little curvatures in the clothing of Deku. We'll see if we can match that. Something like this. Right? And then there's some more right here. We'll just go a little bit right there. And if it's a little too harsh, what we can do is just add some more water and smooth it out. Just like that. So I brought on another sculpting tool, and we're going to smooth it out just a little bit more right here. When this thing is ready, we're going to sand it down. Luckily, we have a lot of time to work with this, like an hour or two. Trying to get it as natural looking as possible to repair. We got to sculpt his butt. And now let's do this part. I think we're pretty good on the back side. And now we'll work on the front part of his crotch. And then let's do this part right here. Using sculpting tools and water and patience will get you the results that you need or you desire. So we'll flatten this. Looks like we had a little bit too much here, so we'll take some out. Try to sculpt it. So this Figure Fix Friday seems to be a lesson in sculpting, essentially, with Procreate and sculpting tools. We wet that. Let's use this end of the sculpting tool and smooth it out. There we have it. That's starting to look really natural right there. Let's sculpt this out. Trying my best not to touch it with my hands, but all the fingerprints and stuff will go away later when we sand it down in the final product and we prepare for the paint. So there we have it right there. We've pretty much added the diaper part of Deku back, and let's see how he looks when we pop him back in. Okay, so here he is. We sculpted a new butt on him. Obviously, we're going to sand it down to look better when it dries out. And yeah, one thing I did notice also is he also is missing some stuff here on his leg. So we will sculpt that now.
The following Thursday.
Okay, everyone, we're back, and it has been about 24 hours, and as you can see, everything is hardened up. It looks like this thing is starting to look like it is ready to be sanded. I put all the indentations I possibly could. So right now we need to sand this guy. It's pretty simple. All we got to do is take our 400 grit sanding stick and pretty much just sand it down until it's nice and smooth. So I'm going to do that, just show you a little quick example, and then I'm going to finish it off camera. But pretty much you just want to keep sanding it. And the reason why you also want to sand this to make it smooth is so that when you start painting it, the paint will actually stick. And that's another reason why you want to sand this down until it's like perfectly smooth to the surface. You see where it, let's zoom in here, let me show you what I mean. So when you sand it down, you want to make sure that where you added the clay, or where I added the clay, we want to make sure that that ends up being like really uniform throughout the crotch and the butt here. So we will work on that, and I'll show you my end results. Alright guys, there he is. I sanded him down. There's the butt. There's the front part. Looks like we're getting really close to finishing this guy. All we need to do now is pretty much paint it. I'll go over the paint formula once I get this done, and we should be done from there. So I'll see you guys tomorrow, or I guess on YouTube we'll see you guys in a bit.
8:28 a.m.
Alright everyone, and here we are. Here's Deku. Finally finished painting him. And let's see exactly what we did here. So once I sanded everything out and we decided to give it a nice airbrush, here is his donk. And it could be a little bit smoother, but I like the way the texture looks because it gives it a more realistic look where it's like ruffled pants. As you can see, the green is a little bit dark, but I kind of feel like it adds a little bit of shadowing to it. So in order to get this color scheme, just let me show you what I mixed here. The green of Deku is actually a combination of green and blue. So what I used here is Mr. Color 66 and 65. And this is bright green and bright blue. I always thought that you needed more green than blue to achieve Deku's color, but that's actually not the case. So you need 60% blue and 40% green in order to achieve Deku green, I guess. That's what I'm going to call this. And this is the custom color that I'm preserving. So that is the formula to get Deku's color. If you want it to be a little bit brighter, as in a little bit lighter, I would add a drop or two of white. Now, another thing that I did here, and the reason why we have these two colors of red, is because to achieve his belt, I had to recolor his belt because I got a little bit of the green on it. And I said, you know what, this gives me a chance to recolor his belt here. So in order to achieve his belt color, which is right here, this is the mix. This is a simple 50-50 of Nazca color NC003 Flame Red, and this is Wine Red from Mr. Color 100. So I combine these two together in order to achieve that, and there you have it. It's as simple as that, I guess. In order to recreate Deku's pants and fix this guy up. And I think this looks really, really good. We have all his articulation back. The problem that we have, though, is this leg keeps popping off because he super glued, the original owner super glued this joint, and it looks like we got some glue in there, and it will not pop back in. But this one seems to be working really well. And yeah, so there you have it. Side kicks, front kicks, flying knees, and whatnot. So I'm glad I managed to fix this. Thank you all for watching. Thank you for joining us for another episode of Figure Fix Friday. I'm going to try to get more of these out to you guys so you can get tips on how to fix action figures. For the people out there that have broken action figures and would like me to fix it, I charge a flat rate of $30. You can go ahead and visit www.Dstar01.com and search for awesome action figures, and you can hit me up there. And if you have any repairs that need to be done, hit me up. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.
Hey you! Thanks for watching. Rate, comment, and subscribe. Where? Right here. Not there, right here. You. And thanks for watching. So, rate, comment, and subscribe. Right here, right there, right here. Yeah.